Welcome, welcome to the inner circle. How is everybody?
Awesome. Thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Good, good. I'm going to be working, I'm actually going to be doing the presentation today, which is I'm super excited about. And I'm actually hosting the build in Charlotte tomorrow. It starts this evening. We have our welcome party for everybody. And then tomorrow is a action-packed day full of presentations for all the agents. And then day three, we have our VIP day. So we're super excited. Brent is flying across the country. Guess what he did? He called me and he said, "Hey, Shelly, I want you to do the inner circle." And he said, "I'll fly across the country for you if you do that." And I was like, "Oh, I'll happily do that." So here I am. I'm super excited to be here. This is going to be a fun 20 minutes together. And I'm going to go over a little bit about what I'm going to share at Build. So I thought you would enjoy that. So I'm going to start off quickly with if you guys, our build this year is around making your 8 seconds count and my motto in real estate has been being respectfully relentless. And I'm going to go into a little bit about that. I'm going to share you my screen. I'm going to share my presentation with you. I'm having a little bit of trouble sharing it with you and being able to see you guys. So hold on just one second, bear with me, okay? So let me do that.
Where's Brent Gove?
Where is Brent?
I'm here at the event in Phoenix, and everybody's asking, "Where's Brent?"
You guys, can you hear me? You're good?
Yes.
Okay.
Good,
So
Shelley.
my plan was to share with you my presentation, but I'm not going to do that because the bandwidth is not working here in the hotel. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through it with you, but I'm not going to show the slides. Is that okay? Is that good? Awesome. Okay. So my presentation at Build is about being respectfully relentless. And basically, like that's been my motto in business is just to never give up and just keep after the business. So when you think about someone being respectfully relentless, I don't know what comes to your mind, but I've seen some pretty relentless folks out there, including people on this call who have done great things in business. And with that, one of my passions is rodeo. Many of you may not know me. I'm Shelly Johnson. I live in Montana. My passion has become rodeo and bronc riding and also bull riding, and I have a ton of respect for those guys. You're like, oh, they just jump on a horse's back and ride it and try to hang on and see if they can score. There's so much more that goes into everything we think is so easy, including our industry, where everyone thinks it's just so easy to just do what we do, right? There's so much behind the scenes stuff that we have to do to get there. So one of the things about bronc and bull riding is 8 seconds is the time they're judged on. So if they can stay on that bull or that bronc for 8 seconds, a lot can happen in 8 seconds. It's pretty incredible what can happen in 8 short seconds. Now, if you're a spectator, have any of you been to a rodeo before? Anybody? If you're a spectator and you're watching that bull, that cowboy, or on the back of one of those horses or one of those bulls, literally, what do you think? You think that's a long 8 seconds. And here's the thing, did you know that most plays are made like in the 4 to 6 seconds whenever like for an NFL play, when they make a great play, it's usually a 4 to 6 second play in the NFL. And then the most recorded longest play has been 20 seconds. And then when you think about that, you think about our first impressions. Our first impressions are made in milliseconds, not seconds, milliseconds. And then they decide whether or not they're valid in the first 7 to 8 seconds, like their first impression, and then they validate it for the 7 to 8 seconds. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is how many times have you been walking up to a house, or you're going to meet an agent for recruiting, or you're having that first appointment with somebody, and you think, it's that handshake. It's like the whole walk up to them. It's your energy. It's everything that's coming off of you when you're going to that appointment. So that person is making that decision on whether right away, whether they're going to work with you or listen to what you have to say or give you the credit or time, right? So what I like to say is those milliseconds count. Um, and a lot of times we're our own worst enemy. We always are worst critic. We're constantly thinking about what we did right, what we did wrong. And sometimes that gets in our head and keeps us from even giving ourselves the opportunity to get that 8 second opportunity, right? Picking up the phone and doing the things we need to do just because we're our own worst critic. We might not do it right. Our slide deck may not work, or I'm just giving you examples of like right now for me, slide deck's not working. I've got a massive event I'm putting on right now. I get a call, hey, can you do this? And what do? You say yes. When Brent calls and says, can you do this for me? It's never no. It's always yes, sir, and I'll do it. And you do the best you can. So I'm in a hotel room and a high rise with Wi-Fi. So that's always fun. Um, so there's a guy that I know. I'm gonna share a story with you. I'm tying that into the real estate side is like just getting uncomfortable is super important. There's a guy, a Cowboy Hall of Fame, Rodeo Hall of Fame guy that I really respect. His name is Warren Johnson. He's in Montana. And the first time I ever hunted with him or rode horses with him, I was in the backcountry 23 miles in. And on our second or third day, I was riding one of his horses and we were jumping logs and all day. And halfway through the day, I came off the horse. Not the horse's fault. Literally was jumping. I just boop off. And I landed on my back and I knocked the breath out of me. If you guys had the air knocked out of you, it's like boom, and you're like, oh, like it just you can't speak. You like wonder how you're gonna get your next breath. And then you have that feeling, you're like, oh, and you feel a stabbing in your back. You're like, oh, that really hurt. That's how it feels when you get bucked off a horse. And literally, Warren Johnson, this man I respect, he's like this big strapping cowboy. He's been doing this for 43 years, someone I don't want to let down, like someone I really, really want to do a good job for. And he looks at me and he goes, Shelly, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm okay. And I'm like trying to and he goes, get back on your horse. You know what he didn't do? He didn't let any time lapse. What if and I got, what I do? I got up off the ground. I started making my way with no air to my horse and I get on. And if I had not have done that, what could have happened? One, if he had not taken the time and just not let me think about it too much, because we all get in our head when we go to do something, he didn't give me that chance to get in my own head. He made me go do it. So I got up and I did it, what he said. So the two of us together, two gritty I think I'm pretty gritty when it comes to business and some things in life, but maybe not horseback riding. Um, he, I got back on that horse. And the reason I'm saying that is because what if he hadn't have? First, it would have changed the trajectory of our relationship because now he goes, oh, she'll do it. She will do it. She'll get back up on that horse. That changed everything. What if it defined who I was to him? He was like, the girl got back up, even when she didn't want to, even when she had no air in her lungs, even when she had we know had broken bones in my ribs, but but still, you have adrenaline. That helps a lot with that pain thing we call pain. So you can do a lot with that. Get back on, you go. And we went the rest of the day. We hunted the rest of the week with two broken ribs. Later, he found out I had broken two ribs and my ankle after the trip, after riding 23 miles a day. The reason I'm sharing that with you is because we can so quickly get in our own head about what we're going to do or not do. Um, the other thing the other thing that happened to me was in real estate. I had another guy that scared the hell out of me. I wish you could see these slides because you'd be like, oh, I get it. Like, I mean, I'm only me, but you saw these slides, you'd be like, oh, get this. Um, this other guy named Jack Salzman, huge man in our industry, not in our industry, but in my area where I lived. He highly respected. I respected him. I had done some work for him in the past, like just little like questions here and there about real estate and things like that. Had never sold a commercial deal before. He called me up one day and he said, Shell, I want you to help me with this commercial deal. It's a $10 million building. Michael Waltrip owns it. And I want you to help me turn it into my dealership or part of my dealership. I never sold a commercial deal, not really. I mean, some little piddly stuff, but I had help. And he said, can you do that for me? And I just said, yes. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I just said yes. And he said, okay, great. He said, I'll see you in a few hours. I thought, oh crap, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I got on the phone with my attorney. Anyways, I went through the process, all the things you would think to do as an agent to get answers right away for a guy that wants to buy a $10 million building. One of the things I had to do was I had to call that commercial agent and say, hey, commercial agent, you're highly respected. Everyone knows your name in our industry, regardless residential or commercial. He said, I said, hey, I have a client that wants to purchase your building. And he goes, what are they going to put in there? And I said, and I led with, I'm a residential agent. I'm not a commercial agent, and I respect the commercial world. This guy I've worked with for a lot of years. I have a ton of respect for him. The community has a ton of respect for him. I'm coming at you, letting you know that I'm not you. I'm not a commercial guy, respectfully, but I can get the job done. He goes, well, what are they going to use it for? I said, we're going to turn it into, if Michael Waltrip had a building that was like a memorial or like a museum. And he was going to use it for, convert it into this car dealership kind of thing. Not really a dealership, but more of like a automotive where he could run his cars through. He needed space and he needed to be able to turn cars around. With Jeeps, you convert them into other things. And anyways, it doesn't really matter. He was going to convert the space to part of his dealership, 126,000 square feet. He goes, Shelley, the town of Cornelius will never allow that to happen. You are totally wasting your time. You're wasting my time. The answer is no, we're not going to go down this path. I said, wait a second. I have the best client for this. He's able to purchase this financially without any problems. There's no strings attached. We have to get it through zoning. I said, with his reputation and with what I'm able to do and how tenacious I am, I will get this done. So we went through, we had some conversations, the lawyers, us, got through, we finally got the contract. And 19 months later, he came to our very first zoning meeting, shook my hand, and he said, Shelley Johnson, you did what you said you were going to do. But I was told no. And a lot of times when we're told no, we don't make those calls. Like for instance, like if you guys are thinking about agent attraction, how's this parlay back to that? How many times have you picked the phone up and had the scariest person on the other line? The scarier, the more uncomfortable you get, the more money you're going to make. That deal turned into a $23 million deal. It was huge. It was the biggest deal of my life. But if I had not been unafraid to make the phone call to a commercial guy that was scary to call, to take Jack's call and deal with him that afternoon when he came in my office and face him, and he knew I didn't know exactly what I was doing. The man is very smart, but he knew I was tenacious enough to get it done. So that energy, that tenaciousness, that grit that it takes to do these things, that's the same thing with agent attraction. When you take that and you use that for yourself, like get in your gut and you make those calls, that's where you can really win. That's where the bigger opportunities are. And then the relentless part, the respectfully relentless part comes into play here. That relationship with Jack Salzman didn't start that day. It started 5 years prior. I had not made a dollar from him, not one. In fact, I felt like maybe he had taken advantage of me because there were other deals that happened that were commercial deals that he had to like do on the side a little bit because that's how that world works. And I'm not really a commercial person. I mentioned that before. The respectful relentless, I stayed in relationship. I didn't take it personal. I kept moving forward. I kept pushing our relationship forward. And I didn't worry about whether I was getting paid or not, or worry about that. I worried about helping him get what he needed. And then one day he saw an opportunity for me to be able to help him back. But he did not choose me because he felt like he owed me. He chose me because he knew I would stick with it. He chose me because he knew I would do the follow-up. He chose me because he knew that I could be respectful in a situation where probably people were going to get unrespectful or not be respectful. So in that situation, and the reason I'm sharing that with you is because with agent attraction, there are some people in the room that I'm going to be speaking to tomorrow who I worked on for 2 and 3 years to come to EXP. And I didn't beat them up with, you need to be a part of EXP. I built a relationship with them, understood where their pain points were, asked good questions, tried to find solutions through our company to help them. And then eventually, it's not on my time. I have to be respectful of their timing. And the people that can have those long relationships where you're respectfully relentless, you will win, whether it's selling homes, agent attraction, a transaction, anything that's really hard. So usually means there's a lot more to it. And that's why it's harder. And sometimes we are like, well, I'm not qualified for that. I wasn't qualified for that commercial deal. I wasn't qualified to have that conversation with these people. But I found the resources. I stayed up extra hours. Like sometimes I was flying for I was growing EXP when this was going on. I was in Vegas. I had a 4 a.m. call because he's an early riser, so it was like 6 their time. So him and the attorney, I had a 4 a.m. call. I was up the night before recruiting some top agents to EXP in Vegas because I was at an EXP event, or actually a Brent Gove event. And I was up the night before, and then I got back to my room around 10:30. I'm working on my presentation because you know how when you were really double timing it and you really want something bad, you just work because that's what you do to get the result. Well, I was double timing it, had that call in Vegas, so I'm like I'm double timing it. Like that's what people forget. They think that this is 9 to 5. This real estate gig is a 9 to 5. It's not. It's an entrepreneurial gig. It's a gig where we can like win together. And I know a lot of you guys are on this call with Brent, you're in the things, you're doing the things, and I want this to be inspiring to you that like we all can do this. Whatever it is we decide, whether if not even agent attraction, anything. Um, but I heard no a lot. I heard no verbally. I heard it through silence by the person not calling me back. I heard no through inaction. How many times have you guys talked to someone and they said, "Oh yeah, I think I'm interested in EXP now." Have you guys had that? And then like a week later, 3 days later, what happened? It's like the car dealership. They go home, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy that vet. I can't wait to get my Corvette. Oh my gosh, it's red. You brought it in for me. You brought it in from out of town. You detailed it. It's ready to roll." And then the guy calls you up and you're like, "Yeah," and you don't call him back because you're like you talked to the wife or you talked to your grandmother or you talked to somebody and they were like, "Oh, you don't want to buy that vet. Oh, did you know you have to spend almost $1,500 a tire on that vet?" Did you know that? Because you know that most people, when you're going for something big, they're scared for you. They don't want to hold you down, but they're scared for you. They don't want to see you spend $5,000 on tires on that vet. They don't want to see, did you know how much insurance is on that vet? Oh my gosh, like that's really big. And did you know that when you're all these things, all these reasons why you shouldn't. So they got the shouldn't person laying on the pillow next to them. Well, guess what? You don't get to sleep in their bed. So you don't get to be the shouldn't person because they don't want to see all that hard work. Well, Jim, you've been working really, really hard at this business over here at XYZ company. And we have a really good friend. Your broker of record, Sally's really nice. I love her. She's great. And we know their kids. Their kids are like in church with us. They go to our kids' church group. And Jim, so Jim, poor Jim sitting there going, man, I really know this is a good decision for our family. But I got my wife, I don't know what your wife's name is, Jim, forgive me. But my wife, Jill, Jim and Jill, you know, she's over here going, well, Jim, I'm scared. That's all she's saying is I'm scared. So like when I'm buying that vet and my grandmother's telling me all the reasons why I shouldn't be buying my vet, and I go, but grandma, I got a garage for it. I'm only going to drive it on sunny days. You could get hurt on that vet. That was another thing she said. Um, you could get hurt. My mother did that to me on my horses. She was like, "Ooh, you're gonna ooh, don't let anyone ride it. They could get hurt, Shelley." I mean, there's all these shouldn'ts out there, right? There's a lot of that because most of our society is led with a little bit of scarcity, right? If you're able to, oh, there's my mom's name. I love that. Um, Carlene is my mom's name. Whoever that is, I like your name. It's spelled just like it. But seriously, like this, like I just want you guys to think about it a little bit differently. We have 8 seconds and how powerful and how much time that really is. So like if I told you right now I was gonna make a phone call and invite an agent to my build event tomorrow, I wish I had a number right here. I would. Um, and just taking that 2 seconds turns into a win for you. So that's really, really exciting. Trying to see what else. Does anybody have anything that they could share with us that's like that as well? So if you done anything scary, made any scary calls or anything you want to share? You guys are hilarious. You're like looking at me like, oh my gosh, Shelly. What? Yeah, unmuting is scary, isn't it? My husband just said that to me. He's like, unmuting is scary. Um,
Are you asking for scary experiences that we pushed through and got the result? Is that what you're asking, or were you
yeah,
asking?
anything you want to share that was like, or maybe you didn't even get the result. Maybe you're working on it right now. Is there anything you're working on that you made a call that you're a little nervous about or you felt apprehensive about? Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I got one. Doing an open house in an area that I wanted to penetrate. I came from LA, so I was 20 years down in Los Angeles, and the luxury market's very different down here there than up here. And I've sold luxury properties down there, but I've sold homes up here, but nothing really luxury. And I got an opportunity, someone who came to my open house, we had the discovery call and okay, needs analysis, all that stuff, and they legitimately had a house to sell. And I talked to Brent and he said, take someone with you, but do it, like go after it. And we did, and I took Brent's advice, which is always a good thing to do, by the way, and landed a $2.7 million listing.
Wow, that's killer.
A listing with Sean Work, and it's very excited about it. But it's just the process, and people that sell multi-million-dollar homes, like you with the commercial, your $23 million deal, they're just normal people with skin
Yep.
on. They have needs too, and they're looking for the right person to be able to solve their problem. And
Yep.
what you need to do is up your skills, up your belief, up your action, and just go do it. Like if the results are going to be what they are, they choose you, they don't choose you, life goes on, doesn't
Right.
matter. But if you keep swinging the bat and you keep upping your skills and you keep showing up, then good things are going to happen, like they did with you, like they did with me, like everyone on this call can attest to.
That's
So
absolutely right. It's interesting you say that because, you know, it didn't matter that I wasn't ready because guess what? You're never going to be ready until you've done it.
right,
You can't become a luxury agent until you've done it. You can't become an agent attractor until you make the action. So like if you make a mistake, we all are just trying to learn and help each other. If you look at it from that perspective, it's way less intimidating. It's like I really want to be a cowgirl, but I'm 52 years old and that's going to be hard for me at this age. I didn't grow up on horses, right? But I really want to do it. I really want to, I don't like to go fast, by the way, on horses. Nope, not me. I do it sometimes, but I don't like it. So, but my point is like you can be anything you want to be, and sometimes like the Warren, the guy I was talking about, I sent him a picture of my slide deck with him on it. And the yesterday you can earn your way in. You can earn your way in. A lot of people are too afraid to just earn their way in and make the mistakes. So many agents have come up to me like on my team and in the past, and they'll be like, well, Shelly, how do you do this? And let's talk about agent attraction, just because I know that that's what our focus is. But like, Shelly, how do I make that first phone call? The first phone call is simple. Hello. And then you're like, hey, this is Shelly Johnson. Like, I'll tell you, are any of you doing events? Any of you happen to be doing an event or going to an event? You're going to Cabo, right? Would you like a script that will work for Cabo? Would that be helpful? Okay. So for Cabo, a really great script is like, hey, Casey, I'm going to use you because I just saw you jump on. Thanks for jumping on. Hey, Casey, this is Shelly Johnson. So great to connect with you again. We had a transaction about 2 months ago, and girl, that was amazing. Like we really rocked that. That was hard. Or if it was a hard, there's all types of ways to hit that, right? But I'm just being a little funny right now. I'm being a little like light in my approach. And I'm just like, in case you'll be like, oh, Shelly, it's so good to meet you, to have done that transaction. She's gonna talk to me about like, oh my gosh, my clients were a little crazy. Yours were really crazy, but we'll have a little banter. Hey, Casey, there's this incredible event coming up. It's in March. I am super excited about it. Like, I am so stoked. I've gone for every year for the past 6 years. There's only 1,000 seats available, and it always sells out. I'm getting ready to book my hotel, and you're a top agent. I'm a top agent. I like to run with people like you. Would you want to head to Cabo with me? We could share a room. Yeah, I mean, her and I could share a room. You share a room with me. So Casey might be like, oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. Because right now, where are we? We're in September. We're not asking her in December or January when she spent her money on Christmas gifts. We're asking her now so she can plan and budget for it. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I got to pay for this all by myself, right? You don't have to do that. You can be like, Casey, let's grow together. I really want to see you win. And what's going to happen? Casey's probably going to be like excited because March is kind of a crummy air time of year for most people in most parts of the country. And like Casey, it'll be just before we get ready to hit where's my charger? And my thing's about to die. I need some help so it gets in there. So Casey's gonna say, Shell, that sounds amazing. She's probably not gonna say yes to me on that call. Well, Casey, it's on my card. It's right there, babe. Um, Casey, I'll be like, Casey, she's probably not going to say yes, But what she might say is, let me think about it, Shelley. It sounds interesting. Could you send me something about it? So I'm going to send her the link. And I might look and find some interesting things that pertain to her business selling houses. Um, and help her, thank you, and help her, see the value of coming to this. There's going to be Gary Brecka is going to be there. Like, find out who the headliners are and be like, Gary Brecka, he's all about health. This is about health, wealth, your future, our current business, our future business. This is about all of that. So, like, we sat on the beach with Gary Brecka. Do you know him, Casey? Like, those kind of that with that kind of energy level. And then she's going to like me. And worst case she's going to do is she's going to say, Shelley, my sister's getting married in March. Well, and like Brent says, tell your sister to get married in June, like everybody else does. So, the point is like she's probably she may have an excuse or some reason why she can't go. Give her those facts. Say, like, Casey, I know you probably need to know what the financial commitment is. If you can get your airfare, I'm going to have a room anyways. So I got your room. But if you can get your airfare and if you can get I can get your ticket or you can get your ticket, you can come up with some kind of a plan. Or you can say, hey, let's split it all. You get your airfare, let's split the room and make it about her. She's not doing me a favor. I'm doing her a favor by inviting her. Like, she didn't know about this before I called her. So by not inviting people, we're doing them a disservice because they're like, dang, if I would have known about that, they would have come. Like, do you know how many people in my brain are rolling around right now for tomorrow that I'm like so mad I haven't called because I'm so busy planning this event that I should have called? Like I should have I called literally, I'm not joking when I tell you this, I've called 800 people. Massive action, packs a room. A lot of them, I don't even know who they are. No clue. But I had 800 conversations, text messages, because always calling is way more powerful than a text. But then I follow it up with a text. What you can do, because if you're like me, you're probably successful because you have ADHD. I don't know, I'm just surmising. So I use Applaud. You know what Applaud is? It's like this little flat thing. It's like, I think they're like $100 or something. And it will record you. So then you can sell the plot, take every person you talk to and you promise something to, and give me a list of homework. Because you can just keep on your roll of your calls. So you're just call, 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 call. It's not call, stop, text, because that will throw you off your game. You're going to get as many calls as you can in 40 minutes or whatever time you send, 10 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. Well, you know what's going to happen? You're going to do 10 minutes, you're going to be mad you couldn't do 20. Because as you get the momentum of those calls, you're going to feed off of it. Because what happens is like this, like I started off on this and I was a little rough. Would you all agree I was a little rough? I know I was rough. It's okay. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I love you. So, but what happened was I got more comfortable and I have more confidence now. So now I'm more comfortable. I'm actually talking about what I really like, which is what I'm telling you right now. So the plot is really important. And what it's going to do, one, you can listen to it if you want to. You can listen for tone and inflection from the person you had the calls with if you put them on speaker. You can get the dialogue and you can also have that put that into show me your notes so that or you can give it to a virtual assistant and have them put that into your notes for each CRM, the person that you're talking to. You can now do your next follow-up. You give it to it, and you can then tell from that, like, say that I do a call. Let's pretend like, Mark, you're like really engaged. I really like this. So Mark, you and I had a call. And when I finish with you, I can say Claude. I can just say, let's say I name my name like it's Jill, or I love that name, Jill. Jill, I need you to put this in my calendar. I need for you to tell me what day I told and set up a follow-up for 2 weeks from now. Set up a follow-up for 3 days from now. Send a text with the information of this on it. Give yourself homework verbally because ADHD people have a hard time like start stopping. I mean, I'm not saying y'all are all ADHD. I just think this works. So they have a hard time. I have a hard time starting and stopping. But if I can keep the momentum, then I can win. And then the problem is I'll lay in bed at night if I keep the momentum and go, I didn't do my follow-ups of everything I was supposed to do. I promised all these people I would do. Even better than that would be to take your plot and give it to your assistant and have her do it. Right? So then you're just a follow-up calling machine. And you can be respectfully relentless and you can have all the details about Jill. So if you know that Jill, oh, sorry, not Jill. Let's say Colleen, Carlene, since I like her name. Carlene, we're gonna do a follow-up. So now I know Carlene. Oh, Shelly, we're going on a trip to Disney. I don't know. I can't think about this right now. I've got 10 deals. We're leaving on Friday. You're inviting me to Cabo in March. I'm not ready for that, but you can put all that into your notes. So when you have that next conversation with Carlene, now, and you know, yeah, if you guys struggle with this, I have struggled with this. This is like my Achilles heel. I'm sharing with you right now, where I call the person, I get on the call with them. I don't even know. I'm probably way over. I'm sorry. I get on the phone, I call the person, and then I'm like, I need to do blank, 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 blank. And then I'm like trying to like put it in my CRM over here. I'm trying to do too many things. And then I've got this funnel that they like to talk about. I think funnels are great. I hate them because they get in the way of a business. They really do. Because they get in the way of it's a shiny object. It's a great tool, but this is the most important part. The social media, the funnels, the emails, the texts are all a um reciprocation. I don't know what the right word is. I can't think, but they're a piece of this puzzle, but they are not the puzzle. The puzzle is they're not the key piece. Like the centerpiece of that puzzle is your calling. The rest of it is floating around, and we get hung up in the stuff that's like floating around the planet. Like we're Earth, and like we get hung up in a star, and that star isn't going to make us have what we need for our business. So I don't know, it's a bad analogy, but you guys get it. So the point is take the plod, and that's a really good tool. There's other resources. That's the one I know because my husband shared it with me, and he's smart, and he's like he lays it down by my desk and goes, oh, it's on for you. Because I'll even forget to turn the thing on. But if you just make it part of like a couple things, like 3 steps, get your computer out, get your piece of paper, however you do your CRM, but don't overcomplicate it. And the plot will be helpful because you'll be able to get more done. So that's my biggest tidbit for you today. Is that helpful?
I want to make sure I understand. So
Okay.
Applaud is an
Let me
app.
let me
What
show
does
you. I'll show that's actually a really good question. Because I talk about things and I don't give good context. Applaud. Okay, let me show you. So it's called Plod AI. It is an app, but it's also a little like device. You can buy it on Amazon, I think. Hold on, let me find it. Plod AI at Amazon. I'm gonna show you what it looks like.
okay?
It looks like this. It connects to the back of, whoops, can you see? It connects to the back of your phone. It's flat.
Huh.
And they will literally magnetize the back of your phone. So you always have it with you, and then you have the app on your phone. So you just press the AI button, and then and then you just download it. And then you can give all that stuff to an assistant. Carlene, hi. I get to see your face. I love that. Um, so anyways, that's what it is. It's this. It's PLAUD AI. They have another one that's a wrist. Now that I thought I wanted the wrist one, I have that one. I don't use it. I like Kevin's. His is the one that sticks to the phone. Because the more stuff I have, if you're like me, if anyone's like me, the more things I have loose, the more I lose them. So I'm better off to just have something that's attached to something I always have, which is I never forget my phone, and I never forget my wrist either, but I do forget the things I put on my wrist. So, oh, thanks, Mark. He just popped it down there. Thank you. Um, it's a really good tool, is basically the bottom line. It will help you and if you use it. And just know that these little bits of time that we have are more powerful than you think that they are.
Hmm.
And that's proven in NFL with the bronc riding, with the bull riders, with our millisecond of impression that we get and that turns into a couple seconds if someone decides whether they like us or not, or they're going to listen to us. And the power of that, and know that when you walk into something that is difficult, you're actually already winning because most people will never walk through that door. Most of the people will never walk through it. They will never put themselves on a horse, ride 23 miles in the backcountry, sleep in a tent with grizzly bears, and get up at 3 a.m., you can't see your hand, and ride through a forest of mountains you don't even know where you're going. And then ride all day, and then get bucked off a horse, get back on, and do it every other day until you get out of there. So My point is like just do not that you have to go ride a horse that's gonna buck you off. That's just a really good analogy of how there's more in us and we just need to let it shine more. And like whatever it is, and especially in agent attraction, it wasn't natural for me either. People are like, oh, it's so natural for you. Oh, Shelly, you're so popular. Oh my God, I didn't even talk to realtors when I was at Keller Williams because I was friends with my clients. I
Mhm.
had too many clients to worry about, and the agents. I was nice. People knew who I was, but I wasn't like their friend. We weren't. I was not an agent who went to every agent party. I was like I wanted to see my husband, or I would spend time with my clients because that's where I was making my living. I liked agents. So it wasn't like it was a popularity contest for me. It was just that I kept putting it forward. So did Craig, my business partner, him as well. Everybody just kept working. And then we took things as a no. I heard no a lot on those deals I was sharing with you. I heard no from Lee Tessier a lot. Well, Shelley, my family, we just went out on our brokerage on our own. Won't it look like we failed because now we went to EXP? And I was like, if your ego is going to get in the way, it could possibly. But why don't you show him you're going to win? Like I had to kind of reframe everything for him. Reframing is a whole thing for people. And sometimes when he would say that, what I'm hearing you say is you're worried about what people are going to think when this could be the best move for your family.